So let's take a few steps back, shall we? Let's go back to when you took a break from country music, from your career about maybe 2 years ago, a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
And then we got this great album from you after you came back. And I just want to know how you're doing now. You were dealing with anxiety and panic attacks. So how's it going for you now?
Good. I mean, it's been a weird ride through all this experience. There's been a lot of stuff happen, and a lot of time to sit with what's happening, and everything. And so, I mean, for me, uh, I've been overall really good. I mean, of course, lots, you know, not just like one or two down days. There's been several down days and anxious days and all that stuff. But I think I'm just more along for the ride with it, and knowing that those days pass, the fleeting emotions that show up, and they feel like they're sticking around for the rest of your life, and then you realize that they pass, and you can find a good spot again. You just have to kind of have that, that awareness. And it took me a long time to figure that out. But I think I have a better handle on everything now. Always trying to grow with it, and just be kinder to myself, and enjoy the ride a little bit more. Try not to take it too serious at the same time.
Yeah, I get that. But one thing that you did do that I'm envious of, and I think we all should, is you got off of social media completely.
Yeah.
Shut that down. How did that help you, and what did that do for you, and how can I do it?
Yes, I recommend it. I recommend it. In fact, I had a flip phone, so I got a flip phone to just completely disengage from the social media and really just get away from all the noise. You're just constantly looking at something, and it totally numbs. It's a pattern. We all do it. It's built to do that. Anybody that's watched any of those shows or read the articles, how it's meant to give you little hits of dopamine to make you feel something, but you never quite feel it fully. And then the thing that you do as your passion and you love, you never get fully to that, because you're always almost taking away that edge that of going into that place. So when I said, I'm going to peel back this, it's making me way too anxious. I'm going to step away from this. And after the first week of kind of getting used to the fact that you can't text, and you have the yellow or the green text messages that everybody hates if they don't have, once you get used to all that, it ended up being the best thing I've ever done. I was getting melodies showing up in my head, lyrics and ideas, and all this were just starting to show up, because I was not filtering everything down and numbing everything out. I kind of just dug down to the true spirit and creator and that I am, and I think that was such a learning experience. And so I highly recommend it. And there's different ways to do it. Now I have a smartphone, again, but you can lock yourself out of apps, and I think. And so the trick is, you go to screen time if you have an iPhone or something. There's different phones do it different ways, and you can choose a limit on the apps. Well, and if you have, like, say, your spouse or somebody you love or a friend, you can have them set a passcode to where you cannot get back into those apps until that day goes through, and you get to the next day, and then so you're mindfully browsing social media or the internet, and not going down the rabbit holes, because you know that you only have so much time to do that. And so maybe you're using social media for what you're really passionate about it for, like if you want to post something that really means something to you or whatever it is. And then you know that you can't just sit there and scroll through all the comments all day either, because you only got an hour. That's been a really cool thing for me, and helped me creatively and personally.
Yeah, so it basically helped you clear your mind, and
Yeah.
I'm envious of that. Now, I'm going to try that app thing that you talked
Try it. Seriously, try it. I think everybody should try it. Even if you go look at your screen time and you say, okay, I'm on my phone 6 hours a day, or whatever it is, to put it like, set it to 4, and you realize, okay, I can get along with the 4, and set it to 2 or whatever. And the next thing you know, you realize you don't need it near as much as you think you do.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Done. Consider it done.
Got it.
So as a result of that break, like I said, we got this fantastic album, Sunday Drive. And from that, this new single you put it out, but it's coming out to radio on March 1st.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me what it's about for people that haven't heard it. Tell us what your perspective.
Good Day is kind of I'd say it's an intention song. It's an affirmation song of how you start your day. It's a song that, it's a decision. You know, we all wake up in the morning, we have a choice to, to, you know, we've already got one thing to be grateful for, and that's that if we woke up, we're alive. We got, air in our lungs. We're alive, you know. And then I guess second is you have the choice to either focus on all the negative things that are out there in the world, which is very easy to do. That's how we're wired as humans. Is how our brain works, is to focus on the negative things. Or you can make the choice to try to put our best foot forward, even in the midst of chaos, and say, you know, I'm gonna have a good day. I'm gonna let whatever comes at me come at me, and I'm not gonna let that completely ruin my day. Doesn't mean it's gonna be easy and all that, but if I put my best foot forward, be there for myself, be there for other people, and put my best self forward, then it's going to be a good day. And I think that's a good message to have out there right now, and a message that I really needed to write about a couple of years ago when I'm going on this journey, and myself, and still on that journey. And so I'm glad to get a song out there that I hopefully can help some people through right now, and that's what I want to do as an artist and as a songwriter.
Yeah, definitely needed at this time. Very appropriate. But you wrote that with, I don't want to butcher their names, but Daniel Tashian and Ian Fitchuk?
Yep.
Second, okay.
Daniel, yeah, pretty much. Tashian, Ian Fitchuk. Yep. You got it.
So give me a little story behind the song on that. How did it come about, and how you guys got together?
This is the first song that I wrote with Ian and Daniel. And, you know, they had, I've been hearing a lot of things that they were writing really cool stuff together. This is before they had all the Casey Musgrave success with Golden Hour and everything, but they had a good buzz about the fact that they're just really good collaborators together. And I really liked what they did musically, but it wasn't anything I'd ever tried before. So whenever you go into, like, for me, I always feel like I got to bring my best self in a write, which I put a lot of pressure on myself for, too much at times, but sometimes I like that pressure because it makes me go in and bring something good, or at least try to. But I think I liked when I got in there with them was the process of how they write is way different than what I was used to in some ways. I mean, they both play a million different instruments. I mean, it's not abnormal for Daniel to be on the drums one minute and then him being over on the piano while Ian's playing bass, and then he switches over to guitar, and then he's on like a toy drum that he bought at Goodwill or something. That's just like, it's a crazy roller coaster of an experience of just incredible musicianship and really outside the box thinking these guys have. And I was going on this journey of self-awareness at that time in my life where I needed to really step away from everything. And I had started that then, and we had this feel with Good Day, and it just kind of one of those subconscious kind of lyric writing kind of things where it kind of wrote towards Good Day, and kind of where I was in my life wasn't like I'm going to go in and write a song called Good Day or anything. And Daniel was sitting on the floor cutting out cardboard paper and writing lyrics on cardboard paper and sticking it on another piece of paper to make it a storyboard. And it was just like so different. It was such a different creative experience, and really changed my way of writing a little bit. And I just loved how out of my comfort zone I was a little bit with it. And it made me, I think, bring out different melodies and sounds in my music. And then from that moment on, after this song, we kept writing and ended up writing half the record together and recording. We recorded Good Day in his garage studio called Royal Plum. And it's just a really just kind of eclectic recording studio in a garage kind of thing, but it's really got a good feel to it. And I was getting these vocals that were raw, and we're going down live with the music and the tracks, and it was just so honest and vulnerable. And I never heard myself like that since, you know, I first started singing. And I think that's what I'd desperately been trying to find, and I found it with them and with this song and this album.
That's amazing. So what would a normal writing session be for you? Would you be on your phone and be distracted constantly?
You know, I mean, I wouldn't say like it wasn't like, I mean, there's pieces of it that are like rights I had, but I think I've never had it where both guys are incredible musicians to that level. Um, and I just think their process was less about just one song and more about what I want to say as a whole. Like you know, because and I think it wasn't like centered around, okay, we have to write a hit today or whatever. I mean, everybody wants to write a hit if it works out, but you're not, like, I wasn't going on the intention to write this song or any song saying on this record saying, because I mean, it's a natural thing in this town sometimes where people will go in and be like, all right, we need to write an up tempo positive song or whatever. And, or I need a heartbreak song that's a 6/8 feel or whatever. I didn't go in with any of those kind of intentions. I just went in to write from a place where it just felt good. And those guys were the right people to do that with, because they're ready to go down any path you want to go, as long as it's, you know, as long as you know what you want to say and who you want to be. And I knew exactly at that point that I was ready to open up to defining that person, and they helped me find that. And so I think that was a huge moment for me.
That's awesome. So you mentioned that Good Day was a positive song and looks on the bright side of things. Do you have advice for people that are going through what you're going through, or is that song your advice to them?
Yeah, both. I mean, I think vulnerability is something that I've always struggled with in my life. And I've gotten leaps and bounds better at it. I mean, it's such a different place for me now, but I think I can always say something better in music because that's my true being and it's my true heart. But you know, and so I would say this song says it all, but at the same time, I've been through the gamut of anxieties and worries and panic attacks and all that stuff. And I also learned that there are millions and millions of other people going through the same thing. It's just who's going to talk about it and who's not. And I decided I didn't want to be one of the people that didn't talk about it anymore, because I knew that I could help a lot of people out, and I knew how much hell it is to go through that. And by talking about it, it sets you free in some way as well. And so I would suggest to anybody is, for one, dive into your passion fully without any reservations. Go push through your comfort zones, the stuff that scares you, the exposure therapy of, if it makes me scared, I'm probably doing something right. If my heart is racing, it's probably, you know, turning my panic and my, you know, if I was about to be in an interview and I have start to get a racing in my heart, or I'm about to go on stage, there's a point where I'd get really nervous before I go on stage, and I had instead channel that nervousness, and when my hands would start to go numb because I'm really feeling like I'm about to pass out or panic attack, be like, no, this is the same thing as excitement. Your body does the same thing from excitement as it does from fear of thinking it's running from a saber-toothed tiger or something, from how we're wired from millions of years ago. So I'm going to switch that in my head to think, you know, no, this is excitement. This means I'm doing something that I care about, that I feel is important. And that's a good thing too, and chase that down and chase it as excitement. I think if you do it that way, you see it that way, it's helped me in tremendous ways. It doesn't mean it's cured. Everybody's going to always have anxiety, and you're never going to kick that completely. But I think it's the way you change your relationship with it, and the accepting of it only sets you more free.
So was songwriting a factor in you taking a break? Was that the plan when you were taking a break, obviously to deal with your journey, but did you know you were going to sit and write songs, and how did songwriting help you get through it?
Yeah, songwriting was a part of it, but I think I had to kind of go and, I wouldn't say fix, because we're always trying to fix ourselves forever. I mean, I read a million self-help books, and I'm never going to fix completely, but it's more of like, I was going to go feel more. Like I was going to go step away. I was going to go feel more, as opposed to shutting it all out. I was going to let it in, and to let the stuff in that scares me. And by doing that, that's what made me write songs again. That's what made me find magic again, as I was feeling again. I was finding the excitement and the magic of being a kid that just moved to town for the first time with with the excitement and the world at my fingertips and no one gonna tell me no for an answer because this is my life and I have an important story to tell and I found that again.
I love that. Well, that's awesome. Well, you look good and you sound fantastic. So,
Well, thank you. Well, great to see you, and I appreciate it.
and thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
You bet. We'll see you soon.
I see you later. Bye.